Hello, movie lovers! Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today I want to review for you a movie I watched today called It. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to show it a little love and give it a like rating. So, It, the 2017 release, interesting horror movie. Of course, we can't really talk about this without drawing comparisons to the 1990 version. Now, the biggest difference between these two is that the 1990 version was a mini-series made for TV, therefore has a more of a TV audience in mind. It is much slower on the actual horror and gore and swearing and whatnot. It has to be appropriate for TV viewers, but it does have a crazy runtime of 187 minutes. Now, the new It, has a theater and home video audience, has an R rating for violence, horror, bloody images, and language. So they pretty much could do whatever they wanted in this movie, as far as all that goes. So they definitely have a different feel. I was pleasantly surprised that this movie doesn't at all have a modern horror film. It's not just another demon in a doll movie that seems to be the rage, or a Ouija board. None of those are involved in this one, which is quite a breath of fresh air. Now, I've only seen this one once, and I've seen this one many times. I'm not sure how many times. I think the last time I watched it might have been a little more than a year or so ago, or maybe a little less. I don't remember. For sure, I wouldn't say like I know this movie by heart, but I do know kind of the gist of it and kind of a lot of how it goes. Now, it's going to be really hard for me to compare the two in an objective way, since I've seen this one many times, and I've seen this one once, and this one I've grown up with. Came out just a few years after I was born, and this one has a nostalgia factor for me, where this one doesn't. So the interesting thing about this one is it's basically two parts. And you actually have to flip the disc over. And I believe the old VHSs were like two VHSs. It starts out with them as kids, and you kind of have the story of them as kids, and then the story of them as adults. So it's kind of a long, complete story. This one, however, just follows them as kids, and you kind of know already the other story, and it kind of leaves you at the end with a feeling of not being fulfilled, because there's more. We have to wait till 2019 for the sequel. It leaves a little to be desired there. Not that they did anything wrong with the ending, just that there's more to the story and you want to see the ending. This one I really love. I really love the cast. There's a lot of really great talent in here, including John Ritter and such. So I don't think I'm gonna talk too much more about that one, because this one isn't about that one. I just wanted to let you guys know kind of my feelings about it, and you guys are probably, a lot of you guys are probably young enough that you don't even know. I mean, you weren't born obviously, and you didn't grow up with it, and you probably never even heard of it. Definitely check it out though. It's definitely worth a watch. So now let's talk about the new It. It does have a lot of similarities and a few differences. I'm not really going to get into the similarities and differences because I'm not enough of an expert where I feel like I can compare all the minute details of the movies. So I did notice though, obviously this is all based on the Stephen King book It. So there's going to be a lot of similar stuff in it, as they both or somewhat follow the book. Now, a lot of people have said this new version of It follows the book a lot more closely. I don't know. It's like a 1,200-page book. There's probably zero chance I would ever read it. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys like reading. That's cool. I enjoy watching movies. So we see a cast, and to me the cast in this movie seems kind of strange because they're just kind of all over the place in ages. Some of them seem 5 years younger than the others, and I'm just like, aren't these kids supposed to all be kind of around the same age? Like, they don't seem like it at all. And the one kid, and I'm horrible with names, so I won't mention the names. The one kid has like a crush on the girl, and she seems way older, and she kind of likes him, and I'm like, I don't know, they feel like they're much different in age, and it just seemed kind of weird. So these group of kids in Derry, Maine, one of their brothers goes missing, and he's never found. And then they start to notice other children go missing, and this town has this whole history of children going missing. Now, I said I wasn't going to do it, but in the original, they kind of went into a little bit of how the town, it wasn't right, and, there was just some kind of weird thing where nobody cared. In this one, they just really quickly glossed over it, and they didn't really give you that feeling of just nobody cared. They just never said anybody cared. It was a little different, and so then they meet this character, Pennywise the Clown, played by Bill Skarsgård. So Pennywise is played by Bill Skarsgård, and Tim Robbins is really loved as Pennywise. Now, I think he did a pretty good job in this one. Skarsgård did. There's a lot of special effects in this one, that the other one didn't have. So they're able to do more with the character. But I just feel like, a lot of his facial expressions and such just were really good and really creepy. So basically, Pennywise is stalking this group of children, and he wants to kill them all, I guess. And they have to join up and team together to fight him. That's the story. I mean, you guys have probably seen it, so you guys kind of know the story. I felt like, I don't know if you guys felt this way at all when you watched it, but I felt like I was laughing more than I really felt scared. There were some great just like ambiance in the movie, like where it would, like we're in a really creepy, scary part would come up, there'd be like thunder cracking and stuff going on like that I thought really added to it. And my friend's subwoofer kind of was making the couch shake, and it was just like this whole experience. But I also felt like a lot of times I thought it was kind of silly. Like I felt like, I don't know, I was the only one laughing, but I just kind of felt like the characters were being silly. The clown, of course, was being silly. Just some of the things they were saying and doing were silly. And I just found myself kind of laughing a lot in this movie, which I was not expecting at all. I expected this movie to be much darker in tone. Not that it wasn't a dark tone, but I just expected it to be much darker. There are a relentless amount of jump scares. That is true. They are going to try to get you with the jump scares. I don't think none of them got me. They're kind of predictable, I think. But I did enjoy this movie. Some people out there thought I wasn't going to like this. Some people say I'm really negative. That's it, just really negative. Actually, a lot of people requested that I review this movie, which was really awesome. I've never had so many requests for a review. It was really cool and really humbling. And I'm not even sure exactly where I want to score it. I kind of want to watch it some more and really, really get to know it better. Like I said, I did enjoy it. I think it does have its tense and kind of spooky, creepy parts and some jump scares along the way. And it's a great story, and the acting is really great. The kids are pretty vulgar, which is kind of how movies are now, with kids being super vulgar. I mean, I don't remember ever in my life or even now being that vulgar. I don't know. Is that real? Like, are kids really like that? Or is this just how Hollywood perceives kids? Like, I'm not saying like they don't say vulgar stuff, but they're just like nonstop with the sex with your mom jokes, penis jokes. It never really seems to end. And sometimes they're actually pretty funny, to be honest. So like I said, guys, this is a great movie, and definitely you guys should check it out if you haven't already. I think for a score on this one, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I don't know if I watched it again, if I'd go a little higher, a little lower. I don't really know. I'm definitely looking forward to watching it again, and I'm definitely looking forward to that sequel coming in 2019. Can't come soon enough. I'll definitely have to see that one in theaters. I skipped this one in theaters. But I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave it a like rating. Be sure to tell me your thoughts on the movie down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. Check out the suggested videos. Check out my website and my Patreon. And I will see you guys next time.